Premium quality football shirts at an extremely affordable price. Sound good? If so, check out the sponsor of today's video, jerseyfifa.com. You can see that I've sent you some shirts and they really are top quality, so make sure to click the link in the description to go find a shirt for yourself or perhaps as a gift for someone else. And you can now use code jerseyfifa at checkout for 10% off your order. That's code jerseyfifa at checkout for 10% off your order. I really do recommend their product, so go take a look. Now let's get into the analysis. So over the past couple of days, Erik ten Hag has been doing his first few interviews in charge of Manchester United. And one of the things that he has spoken about is the importance of promoting academy players from the youth and into the first team. This was obviously something that he done at Ajax as well, with players like Kenneth Taylor and Ryan Gravenberch proving that Erik ten Hag is more than happy to promote players from the youth academy and into the main starting team. This is one of the things that makes him quite a good fit for Manchester United, because of all of the brilliant young players that are currently coming through the Carrington Academy at different age groups. There is a real good group of players there at the moment. One of the main players that is getting the most attention is James Garner, with a lot of people calling for him to come into the first team. But I have already done a video on that, so if you want to check it out, you can find it on the channel once you've watched this video. Because for today, I want to focus on Hannibal Mejbri. I had a comment asking if he could play in a Gravenberch-esque sort of role next season, so today we're going to be breaking him down as a player and answering that question. So Hannibal's main strength is when he is dribbling with the ball at his feet, and he's excellent at progressing the ball for his side by picking up possession in deeper areas before then looking to carry the ball forward through the thirds. As I said there, this is without doubt his best attribute on the pitch, and if he is given an extended run in the first team next season, then be ready to see him picking the ball up before looking to take players on, carrying the play forward. Actually, in this sense, he gives me a bit of a Jack Grealish at Aston Villa sort of vibe, with the style of dribbling he looks to use to really carry his team up the pitch by gliding his way past opposition midfielders. One of the main reasons that Hannibal is so good at dribbling is because he is a very technically proficient player, allowing him to always take a good touch to get the ball under control, allowing him to keep the ball close to his body. Despite enjoying carrying the ball forward for his side, Hannibal certainly isn't a selfish player, as he's always looking to bring his teammates into the game with short passing, and again this is an area of the game where he is very comfortable. As well as bringing others into the game with his short passing, Hannibal also has a good long range passing as well, allowing him to switch to play with long passes to players in space over on the other side of the pitch. This is actually a really important weapon or tool for a player to have, because this ability to switch to play with long passes out wide is a great way to exploit different spaces that an opposition defence may leave. Continuing with his passing, Hannibal also has the ability to be quite incisive with his passing as well, and he does have an ability to play passes in between the lines, progressing the play with these forward vertical passes. Although he is actually better when he has a little bit more time and space to work in, because his weight of through ball on transition is excellent, so we can see just from these few brief points that he can be quite a creative spark for his team. As a result, he does tend to collect his fair share of assists over the course of a season, and again this is perhaps something that the first team is lacking slightly, so perhaps Hannibal could offer a slight solution to that particular problem. As well as getting assists, Hannibal does also chip in with a few goals over the course of a season, although I'm sure this is an area he'll want to improve further, but this should come as his shooting technique improves with age and experience. In this sense, I do think that Hannibal is a player with plenty of room for growth, and importantly I think he has the work rate and the mindset to put that hard work in. It's something you see the second he steps on the pitch with his tenacious playstyle. In fact, there's an argument to be made that he takes his tenacity too far, and this is what we saw when he came on against Liverpool, and whilst the fans enjoyed his display of passion, it is important that he understands the limits. I certainly think it's something that he needs to work on. Rangnick has tried to help him at times this season, and it will be important that Ten Hag is able to bring that element of discipline to his game if he wishes to progress as a player. Hopefully Ten Hag will be able to put some sort of plan in place for his course of development, because it's important that these brilliant young players are given some form of pathway from the academy into first team football. The best way for Hannibal to do this may be to change his position and role slightly. He's currently been best attacking as a wide creator on the left hand side or as an advanced playmaker in the midfield, but it might be time for a change. As I was saying at the start of the video, I received a comment asking if he could be adapted to play in an almost Ryan Gravenberch-esque role, or certainly the tactical role that Gravenberch has had with Ajax for most of this season. So, for the most of the season, Gravenberch has played as part of a midfield 2 in a double pivot alongside Edson Alvarez, and the two of them have had a pretty good dynamic and understanding this season, with Alvarez holding a deep position, which has then given Gravenberch the freedom to push into a much more advanced role. So despite starting the match in a double pivot, he actually spends most of his time playing much higher up the pitch near the final third. One of the ways that Gravenberch looks to move into a more advanced position is with the ball at his feet, and all season he's been brilliant at picking the ball up in reasonably deep areas before then looking to carry the ball forward through the thirds. As well as progressing the play forward with his dribbling, Gravenberch has also been a pretty good ball progressor with his passing as well, so we can see that Gravenberch has been an extremely important ball progressor this year. With those 2 points in mind, on the surface it looks as though Hannibal could have the potential to play in a similar sort of role, because I've already pointed out that he is also good at progressing the ball with both his dribbling and his passing range. Something else that Gravenberch has done on a regular basis this season is he's taken up a more advanced starting position, so rather than progressing the ball from deep, he has pushed higher in order to receive the forward pass. Again, this would certainly suit Hannibal's play style, and this side of the game would actually be slightly more natural to Hannibal as a player, and I think he would excel in an area where he is able to receive the forward passes between the lines, which would then allow him to get on the turn, and Hannibal does have that little bit of flair to his game, allowing him to take the ball and turn all in one motion before then looking to drive at the opposition's defence. On top of all of this, Gravenberch has been given the responsibility to make forward runs off the ball as well, and we've regularly seen him underlapping Tadic on the left wing, allowing Gravenberch to get himself in space. Again, I do think that there is an argument to be made that Hannibal could operate in a similar sort of way. We know that he is naturally a more attacking player, so it would be normal for him to make these forward runs off the ball. As a result of playing in quite advanced areas, there has been an expectation for Gravenberch to help the side with goals and assists, and he was nearly in double figures for this season, so this would also be important for Hannibal. Unfortunately, this is an area that Hannibal currently struggles with, and this season he hasn't been able to produce the numbers that he would have wanted, so this is certainly an area of concern as he looks to move forward as a player. Overall, I do think that there could potentially be room for Hannibal to adapt. He is still extremely young, giving him plenty of time to adapt and improve, and he also has a good work ethic, which will of course make the process easier. Ultimately, for this to work, one of the most important people would be Erik ten Hag, and we've seen all season that he really is a brilliant coach, and he has an excellent ability to get the best out of players, so it could work. Realistically, it might still be a little bit early for Hannibal to get regular first team football, but in games where Manchester United are expecting to be dominant, then there certainly could be a chance for him to get some game time next season. Certainly in the bigger games, I do think that it's a little bit unlikely, especially in a deeper midfield position. He probably doesn't have the defensive ability that would be needed to go up against some of the best midfielders the league has to offer. Even if he did have the defensive capabilities, there is already a lot of competition in the squad, with the likes of Fred, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes and Donny van de Beek all currently ahead of him in the pecking order at the club. And on top of this, we're likely to see at least one more midfielder coming into the club, so it does look like there is going to be a lot of competition for places at Manchester United next season, so Hannibal may not get much game time. His main hope would probably have to come in cup competitions in either the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, where Ten Hag may rotate slightly. If not, then I do think Hannibal is going to struggle to break into the first team next year. But I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him making some sort of loan move this season, either down to the Championship or perhaps to a slightly lower Premier League team, where he would be able to gain some valuable experience and importantly game time. With all of this taken into consideration, I do think that Hannibal is coming up to an important summer in his career. He needs to make sure that he is getting the right amount of game time for his development, and the management team needs to sort this out. As I keep saying, I do think it's a little unlikely to expect him to get much first team action next season, certainly at Manchester United. So right now I do think that a loan move looks like the best option for him moving forward. But I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Do you think Hannibal could play in the Gravenberch role, and should he stay at Manchester United next season or look for a loan move elsewhere? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.